Hi everyone, it's Monday and this is our first lesson on volume and capacity for the week. What is capacity? It is the amount that something can hold. Look around your house and you will see lots of different kinds of containers. You might see glasses, lunch boxes, or shoe boxes. The capacity of a container is the amount that the container can hold. Today, we will think about and explore this using liquids. Capacity is different from size. A tall, thin container can have a smaller capacity than a small, wide container. You can see the example here. Got a long, thin test tube and a cup. Do you think they might have the same capacity, different capacity? Or what are your thoughts? We are learning to measure and record volumes and capacity. We can estimate the number of units used to measure volumes. We can refer to the number and type of uniform informal unit used. We can check our answers by measuring, and we can explain a strategy used for estimating a volume. We can also predict the larger volume of 2 or more containers. Let's have a look at some of the capacity vocabulary. So we've got full, half empty, empty, nearly full, half full, and nearly empty. Okay, we also need to order capacities. Let's have a look at these capacities and order them from smallest to largest. So do we think that the bathtub, the cup, or the bucket is going to be the smallest? Which one do you think will be the largest? Let's check the answer. That's right, the cup is the smallest, the bucket is in the middle, and the bathtub is the largest capacity. It holds the most. Arnie is very thirsty. What glass should he use for a drink? Should he use the egg cup, or the teacup, the mug, the coffee cup, or the drinking cup? I agree. That drinking cup looks a little bit larger and it looks like it might hold a little bit more liquid because it's actually quite wide. Well done. Should Jared use a cup or a bucket to fill a paddling pool with water? So we've got a bucket and a cup. Now it takes a while for us to fill up a paddling pool, doesn't it? So it would be much faster if we used a bucket to fill it up. So I think we need to use a bucket. All right, let's practice today's task together and then it is your turn to try. So find 2 different containers in your house and draw them on a piece of paper or on the Jamboard. So you can pause the video, go off and find your containers and come back to continue watching. All right, when you complete this task, you need to remember to label each picture and estimate how many cups of water it will take to fill each container and record it. Then you get to test your guess. You can follow along with me on the Jamboard, or you can follow the video and do it on a piece of paper. So keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to do this on the Jamboard for you and you can follow along. But if you want to do this on a piece of paper, that's totally fine. So here's our Jamboard with our volume and capacity task. So you found your 2 different size containers and a cup, and now we need to draw and label our containers. Okay, so I'm going to get my pen tool and I'm going to draw a container. So the first container that I found was a box. So I'm going to draw a box over here using the pen tool, and remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just so we get the idea of the container, and that's definitely not Mrs. Green's best drawing of a cube, but that's okay. That's what we this is just for us to get an idea of what we're doing today. All right, so the next thing is you need to draw your other container. So the other container that I have in my house is a Tupperware container. So it's a little bit smaller. It fits in my children's recess. So I'm just going to do it. It's a little bit smaller, a rectangle, shape. So it's a rectangular prism, although my cube does not look like a cube. That is okay. Okay, so now I'm going to label my shape. So I'm going to say this one is my large. Now I might like to label it using the pen tool, or I might like to get my typing tool, which is a lot easier, and we can just type in. So large container, or we could say large capacity. Okay, because it's a little bit hard to see just from my drawing which one's the larger container. So by writing or labeling the drawing, it makes it a little bit easier to understand. Okay, so, and also you can use the rubbing out tool if you want to get rid of that writing that's underneath. So we can do that as well. You can change the color of your pen tool as well, or your writing, typing letters. Okay, let's keep going. So now I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to say smaller container with a smaller, because it's not the smallest, but it's a smaller capacity. Okay, so that's what I've been asked to do. I've been asked to draw and label the containers, and that's what I've done. So I hope you guys can do that too. Then number 2 is estimate how many cups will fill each container. Okay, so I'm going to be using a drinking cup. You might use the cup that you have. So let me get a drinking cup. I'm going to show you something a little bit tricky on here. If you want an image of something, you can go to Google Images and you can type in what you need. So here we go. We have a cup. Let's find the size cup. That looks, although I would prefer it to be a color than white. Let's see if I can get a different color. That's better, because that will show up better on my Google Classroom. Okay, so here's my cup. I'm going to make it the size that I would like. So I've got my 2 containers and I've got my cup. We're going to estimate how many cups will fill each container. And over here, I've already got the post-it notes to help you. So the first container is my larger container. I'm going to click on the sticky note, and I'm going to fill in the gap. So I estimated the capacity of the container equaled, I think that it probably equaled, let's say 8 cups. Okay, and I take that away, put my full stop at the end, and I press save. So now I've done my estimate for the larger container. Okay, this is my smaller container. I measured oh, sorry, this is the measuring. We don't want measuring. We want to continue estimating on the second container. I estimated the capacity of the container equaled. Okay, now it's not going to be more than 8, is it? Because if I think that the box is 8, then it has to be less than that because it's a smaller container. So I'm going to estimate that this one is actually only 2 cups. I think it will get full with 2 cups. So that's how I'm estimating. All right, now it doesn't mean that it's going to be right or wrong, and it doesn't even matter if it's not right. Now, I just want to have an idea if you can make an educated guess, I suppose. Okay, so now the next part is measure how many cups fill the container. So you're going to get your cup in real life and you're going to put water in. Now, you will need to check with an adult that this is okay to use the water. And they might even like you to do it outside where it's nice and warm at the moment, depending where you live. Okay. Alternatively, you could use outside you could use sand or something like that. So something that's quite small and fine would be good. But it's really important that we make sure we fill the cup up to the top. Okay. So we make sure that every cup is exactly the same. So when you've measured your cup, so I've measured my box, and I know that now I've measured the container and the capacity actually equaled 10 cups. So I know now that it takes 10 cups to fill my box. Okay? So I'm going to put these over here because these match my box. Okay, so I estimated 8 cups, but actually it was 10 cups. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to do my next one, my smaller container. I measured the container and the capacity equaled, this one actually was a little bit larger than I thought, and this one was 3 cups. Okay, and that's how you complete the task. Now, if you want to do that by just writing and taking a photo, you're more than welcome to do that. If you want to take a photo of yourself doing the activity, that's even better, and you can go to the add image and you can upload it from your file on your computer if you can add it to your computer. You might need an adult to help you with that activity. Okay, and again, I'll move my post-it notes so that they match my drawing. Okay, so you can really draw anywhere on this Jamboard to complete that task. And then that's it for this lesson. We were just practicing our estimating and our measuring, but you're more than welcome to practice that as many times as you like. So I might actually make a couple of extra pages in case you want to do some more measuring with different containers. All right, good luck everyone. I hope you do really well with that. Bye.